This is Tank's Vlog, April 14th, 2018, ramping up today in sports. We had our first one today. I'm pretty sure we'll have more. Our first overtime thriller, and it was in Las Vegas, where the Vegas Golden Knights took on the Los Angeles Kings. The Knights won a tight goaltending duel in Game 1, 1-0, and it was almost the same scenario in Game 2, except the Kings finally got on the scoreboard with a power play goal late in the second period by Paul LaDue. But then the game remained tied after the third period and after the first overtime. It wasn't until late in the second overtime that Vegas finally won the game 2-1. They peppered Jonathan Quick with 56 shots, compared to the dirty shots that Marc-Andre Fleury faced for the Knights. I mean, this was just Quick. If the Quick would have stolen that game, if the Kings could have found a way to win, but at last it was too much Vegas pressure, and they finally won the game on a goal by Erik Haula. Just an absolute thriller. And what can you say about Las Vegas? These Golden Knights, they just keep winning. They just keep finding ways to win. I mean, wow. They're up 2-0. Now they have to go play a playoff game on the road. They've had their first overtime playoff game. They've had their first overtime thriller. And just, this is what playoff hockey is all about. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh, after getting embarrassed 7-0 in Game 1, the Flyers came out flying in Game 2. Sean Couturier, 3-point night, 1 goal, 2 assists. Brian Elliott made 34 saves, and the Flyers stunned the Penguins 5-1. Meanwhile, the Winnipeg Jets, with that impressive whiteout in Winnipeg, fans all dressed in white, got another goal from Patrick Laney. Jumped out to a 4-0 lead. The Wild did not get on the scoreboard until the final minute, after the game was well decided. Jets are looking good. They're up 2-0. They'll be going to Minnesota now, but Winnipeg Jets could be on their way to winning their first ever playoff series. And this isn't the original Jets. The original Jets are the Coyotes. But even that team, the Winnipeg Jets did not have much success in the NHL. They only won like one playoff series, and that was 1987. They so many times they kind of went up against the Edmonton Oilers and Wayne Gretzky, and that didn't ever end well for Winnipeg. But they're up 2-0 on the Wild, and the Thrashers. They never even won a playoff game. The Thrashers, so it's looking good for Winnipeg. Baseball Friday night. New York Mets came home after a perfect 6-0 road trip, looking to extend their winning streak to 9 games. They got off to a good start. After the Brewers tied it, Todd Frazier answered with a home run. So he had 2 home runs, Todd Frazier, his first 2 home runs as a Met. Mets built a 6-2 lead, but had to hold on. But Jerry's Familia, for once, actually had a great 9th inning. Put down the Brewers in order. Robert Gsellman got a big out in the 8th inning. Seth Lugo had a little bit of a shaky time of it, but other than that, the Mets bullpen continues to be outstanding. And Steven Matz, decent start. Gave up a couple of home runs, but you'd like to see him get his pitch count down and throw more strikes, but got to win. So, all in all, another great day for the Mets, as they're now 11-1. And I'll be out there tonight, I should say, at Citi Field, as they look to make it a perfect 10 with Matt Harvey on the mound. Yankees went to Detroit after losing 2 out of 3 in Boston. And Aaron Hicks came off the disabled list. Got a Insider Park home run. Big game overall. Yankees also built a big lead and had to hold on late, as they beat the Tigers 8-6. The Cubs continue to struggle. They've lost 3 out of 4 at home, and is the losing Friday to the Braves 4-0. I don't know what's the Cubs. The Cubs should be a lot better than they're playing. I don't understand them. Oh, well. It was the Cardinals beating the Reds 5-3. Cincinnati, you do stink. The Rockies beat the Nationals 2-1. Washington continues to struggle. The Red Sox continue to be red hot, equaling their best start in over 100 years as they clobbered the Orioles 7-3. They're now 11-2. It was the Blue Jays doubling up the Indians 8-4. The Marlins getting a rare win, beating the Pirates 7-2. The Phillies edged the Rays 2-1. Rays are off to an awful start, 3-10. In the Battle of Texas, it was the Astros edging the Rangers 3-2. Angels off to a fantastic start. Shohei Ohtani. They've won 9 straight games in which Shohei Ohtani's played, and they're now 12-3 overall, beating the Royals 5-4. It was the Diamondbacks edging the Dodgers 8-7. The Mariners beat the Athletics 7-4. It was the Padres 5-1 winners over the Giants, and Twins and White Sox were postponed today. Saturday starts the NBA playoffs. I've got my first round playoff preview down below. Click the link. I think this year's playoffs should be a little bit better than last year. I don't think it's set in stone for Warriors, Cavs like last year's was. Last year was okay. Just get to the finals already. I think the Rockets have a chance, and I really do like the Toronto Raptors. I think the Toronto Raptors are going to the NBA Finals, and I think the Rockets are going to the NBA Finals. We're going to have a different final this year. Finally! In the first round, I like the Raptors in 5. The Bucks over the injured Celtics in 6. The 76ers in 5. And I like the Cavaliers to beat the Pacers in 5. Do I want something to stop LeBron? In the West, I like the Rockets over the Timberwolves in 5. Although that one could be a sweep. I like the Warriors to beat the Spurs in 6. That one could be a strange series if you ask me. I like the Pelicans over the Trailblazers in 6. And I like the Thunder in 7 over the Jazz. So check out the my NBA picks. It's a tradition. You know how I do the picks. Round by round. I'll be doing the second round. Conference Finals, NBA Finals, same with hockey. I'm a picking machine. What can I say? Tonight's 3 stars are Sean Couttet of the Flyers, who had a goal and 2 assists. Jonathan Quick, who despite losing the game, he just was the top player in that game with 54 saves and allowing those 2 goals that ended up losing the game. But he certainly kept the Kings in the game and gave them a chance to win. They just couldn't get enough pressure on the other goalie, Fleury there for the Vegas. And our 3rd star is Todd Frazier, who went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs. The second one was big because the Brewers had just tied the game, and he's really been a true spark for the Mets all year long. Our birthday shout-out goes to baseball's all-time leading hit leader, Pete Rose, who turned 77. And we take a look back to 1968, the Masters, when Roberto DiVincenzo played good enough to finish in a tie with Bob Goalby. But he mistakenly signed a scorecard that gave him a 4 instead of a birdie on the 17th hole. And that ultimately cost him. Because he signed the wrong scorecard, he lost by 1 stroke. Check out the story of Barstool Sports and Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. See you out at Citi Field tonight. Good day.